paid for it. I lost the best barber I ever had because I made jokes about the backdooria life. I call it backdooria, like backdooria, that's what we call it. I made jokes about the backdooria life. I lost the best barber I ever had because I believe I offended him by saying stuff about backdooria life. I've paid for saying the things I say, but I stand on it. The joke I made about Shannon getting out that SUV, listen, I would never disrespect my brother, not because he fit and big in his face, but what did I say this disrespect?
Tag with that, and I ain't got no problem with gay. I'm just not gay.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of my exes reached out. It's like, Shannon, where does gay is coming from? They need to talk. But see, that's the thing. What do you get out of calling me gay? You feel good? That makes you feel good? Because you saying things on the radio behind your screen that you would never say to my face. What's the likelihood that Mike Epps would have said what he said to my face? Or any of these comedians that said what they said? They're not gonna say that to my face, Ocho. You know that, I know that.
Yeah.
Now, when I said I was gonna pull up, I was gonna see him. He and I was gonna have a conversation, and I'm gonna say, okay, where did you get this from? Where are you hearing this from?
That's not the kind of pulling that we were doing, man.
Ocho, I ain't gonna why am I gonna put my hands on him and mess up my money?
Hey, wait a minute. I went and got some black Air Force Ones and some Army fatigue. I was ready to go to Indy.
And that's the thing. Now, look, there's this one guy. He wants to come on my show, but I don't have any respect for him, and I don't think he's funny.
Who that?
And so I don't really pay any attention to him if he keeps it going.
Well, the internet's been going crazy ever since Shannon Sharpe's former stylist Hollywood dropped his silence like a bombshell. What started off as quiet shade and slick whispers turned into a messy, straight-up chaotic explosion. Suddenly, Shannon's private life wasn't private no more. It got snatched into the spotlight, and now it's all anyone can talk about. And the timing couldn't be worse. Shannon was at the top of his game, riding high with Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, and viral moment after viral moment. Everything he touched was turning into digital gold. He was the man of the moment, but now he ain't trending for his interviews or that signature charm. Nope, he's trending because his personal business just got exposed and it's got people looking at him sideways. Then came the moment where the pot really started to boil. Out of nowhere, Mike Epps and Mace threw some slick shade, dropping not so subtle hints about Shannon's sexuality, and the internet ate it up. People were stunned. For years, Shannon gave off nothing but smooth operator vibes, always dressed to the nines, flirting on camera, and even shooting his shot at Nicole Murphy like it was nothing. He had that confident ladies' man energy locked down. But then came that pivot interview, the one that turned everything upside down. Sitting next to Channing Crowder, Shannon let off a few wild jokes about light-skinned dudes and their private parts. And man, the internet exploded. What was once just a curious hum suddenly turned into loud, messy chaos. The energy shifted instantly. 1 second people were laughing. The next, they were running with wild theories. Normally, Shannon would have brushed it off like nothing. A few jokes, a little trolling, that's regular, but this time, it hit different. The noise wasn't staying online anymore. It started creeping into his real life. His daughter came asking questions. His grandkids caught wind of it. Even his tight circle, people he trusted, started looking at him with new eyes and wanting answers. And that kind of pressure, it's no joke. It pushed Shannon to finally speak up, not just for his own peace, but for the people around him who had to deal with the fallout. According to Shannon, this wasn't about clapping back or saving face. It was about shielding his loved ones from the constant whispers and side eyes. At first, he tried to keep it low-key, stay silent, let the mess pass. But silence didn't stop the storm. It only made it louder. So when the heat got too close to home, Shannon finally snapped out of quiet mode. And that's when everything really started shifting. Shannon thought he could downplay Hollywood's role in his style game with a slick little comment. Yeah, that backfired fast. He claimed Hollywood barely did anything, saying the outfits were already picked and styled by someone else. Just a side note, like Hollywood was just hanging around. But Hollywood, he took that as a straight-up disrespectful slap to the face. He didn't rant, he didn't go on some messy podcast spree. Nah, he came with receipts. Cold, clean, undeniable. No screaming, just screenshots and proof, and it hit hard. Word on the street is Shannon tried to clean up the mess, but not with an apology. Nah, the whispers say he tried to slide Hollywood some hush money to keep things quiet. If that's true, that move blew up in his face. Instead of smoothing things over, it made him look shady, like he had something big to hide. Now, it ain't just about style and drama anymore. It's way deeper. Folks are starting to wonder what else Shannon's been hiding behind those designer suits and cool talk. And here's the kicker. Hollywood's not even being loud about it. He's calm, cool, and strategic. No theatrics, just letting the public add it all up. Meanwhile, Shannon's looking shook, trying to play catch-up while the internet peels back layer after layer. Social media, it's going wild. TikTok's running breakdowns like detectives. Twitter's on full roast mode. YouTube channels are zooming into every moment, every extra fitted suit, every suspicious side eye. Just when things couldn't get messier, Mike Epps and May stepped in and kept the heat blazing. Mike threw shade straight at Club Shay Shay, cracking that the name sounded more like a nightclub than a real sports show. Then May slid in with a slick line that hit way harder than expected. If you don't want to be seen as fruity, maybe don't act fruity. They didn't have to say anything direct. 'Cause in today's world, coded shots hit like bullets. Shannon tried to play it cool, brushing it off with a little laugh. But let's be real, he knew this was serious. It wasn't just some light roasting. This was about how people see him, his legacy, his whole brand. This wasn't some online rumor he could ignore. This was creeping into everything he built. Up until all this mess, Shannon was that guy, the Hall of Fame baller turned media king. He made that post-NFL glow-up look easy. From viral interviews to dominating debates, he had the formula on lock. Never sweating, always shining. But now the vibe is shaky, real shaky. Every tweet, every interview, every caption suddenly feels like damage control. That confident stride, it's looking more like backpedaling. And while Shannon's out here reacting, Hollywood is playing chess, not checkers, keeping the spotlight pinned on Shannon's every move. Critics? They smelled the weakness and pounced. Fans? Caught in the middle, not knowing who to trust anymore. Because in this game, once your image gets questioned, it don't matter what you did before. The streets only care about what's happening right now. Perception hits way harder than the truth, because once doubt creeps in, no amount of PR spin can wipe it clean. And with this Stylist drama, the culture shift is crystal clear. A few years ago, jokes about a man's outfit would have passed with a laugh, but now, all it takes is one side comment or a single stylist posting a clip, and boom, your entire character is under fire. These days, the line between shade and slander is paper thin. Say the wrong thing or get caught slipping, and your reputation can crash overnight. And right now, Shannon's staring straight at a fork in the road. He can either ride this wave out, stay low, and hope the internet's attention jumps to someone else's scandal, or he can snap and go full-on scorched earth, clapping back at Hollywood, Mike Epps, Mace, and anybody else stoking the flames. But either way, it's risky. Real risky. One wrong step and the whole situation could explode right in his face. Meanwhile, Hollywood's moving like a mastermind. No yelling, no petty captions, no wild interviews, just calm, cool, and calculated. He's got that quiet confidence that hits way harder than drama. With each receipt, each carefully timed post, he's keeping the pressure locked in. It's giving straight up tension. Shannon's sweating, while Hollywood's steady with the match in his hand. In this messy game of fame and fallout, it's not always the loudest voice that wins. Right now, Hollywood's silence is louder than any comeback Shannon could ever try. But just when you thought the Stylist mess was the peak, nope, that was just the warm-up. Shannon Sharpe's entire world is spiraling, and now it's way bigger than fashion beefs or rumors. The headlines just dropped a bomb. He's facing a $50 million assault lawsuit, and it's serious. The woman behind the lawsuit is going by Jane Doe, And who's repping her? None other than Tony Busby. Yup, the same heavyweight lawyer who's been going after Diddy. That alone shook people up. Now it's real legal smoke. According to the court docs, Jane says she met Shannon at a gym in LA back in 2023 when she was 20. What started off as a relationship? She claims it took a dark and disturbing turn behind closed doors, and she's accusing Shannon of assaulting her twice, once in October 2024 and again in January 2025, and says he used physical force and threw out threats that left her scared and shaken. Shannon? He's not staying quiet either. He's denying everything, calling the case a setup and claiming it's all just a money grab, a straight-up extortion attempt. But things kept heating up, especially when both sides started talking about an alleged video. There's footage that supposedly shows Shannon and Jane during an intimate moment. Tony Busby is calling it key evidence, but said it won't be released publicly. For now. Shannon fired back, saying the clip making rounds online is nothing but a chopped-up, misleading 30-second cut from a full 10-minute video, edited to make him look guilty. Shannon also revealed he refused to watch the full video, calling the entire situation nothing but a setup. But just when it felt like things couldn't spiral any further, they did. Out of nowhere, Shannon dropped a bomb. He's stepping away from First Take and ESPN, the very platform that turned him into a media powerhouse. His reason? To focus on family and address the false and disruptive allegations. But let's be real. People weren't buying that clean exit. For someone known for being locked in, never missing a beat, that sudden exit had everyone talking. In both sports and media circles, folks were whispering the same thing. The writing's on the wall. ESPN didn't make a scene. They put out a dry PR-filtered statement supporting Shannon's decision to step back. But behind the scenes, moves are being made. Insider chatter says retired NFL star Jason Kelce is being tapped as Shannon's temporary fill-in. Between his rising fame from ESPN segments and his hit podcast New Heights, Kelce's seen as a safer, drama-free option. But here's the kicker. If Jason holds his own at that desk, some insiders say this might not just be temporary. Shannon could be out for good. But don't get it twisted. This legal chaos didn't just pop up out of thin air. Shannon's been on thin ice since late 2024. That's when he accidentally went viral for live streaming himself during an intimate moment. He blamed it on a tech glitch, but that moment had fans side-eyeing hard. It added fuel to all the quiet doubts swirling about what was really going on in Shannon's personal life. Around that same time, Shannon's energy started changing. His clapbacks at critics, even some of his own ESPN co-workers, got spicy. He wasn't just defending himself. He looked like someone barely keeping it together. The calm, polished Shannon folks were used to, gone, replaced by someone clearly feeling the pressure. But the real shock, that came when comedian Corey Holcomb pulled up on Cam Newton's podcast, and he did not hold back. Holcomb went all in, claiming Shannon's living what he called the backdoor lifestyle, a coded phrase in black spaces that's used to call out closeted behavior without saying it outright. According to Holcomb, Shannon's biggest struggle ain't the gossip, it's the fear of getting exposed. Holcomb even claimed he once lost his favorite barber for making the same kind of jokes, but he still doubled down, saying what he believes everybody in LA already knows. And just when the internet thought things might cool off, nah! Holcomb's comments stirred it right back up, raw, emotional, and unfiltered. What made it hit even harder? Holcomb didn't sound bitter. He said he still roots for Shannon, respects what he's built, and even hopes he keeps winning. But he refused to stay silent. He straight up called out what he saw as denial and double standards, saying, "Stop. We saw all we need to see," and made it very clear. The real issue is the folks trying to convince the public not to trust what's right in front of their eyes. That moment was loud. In an era where celebs get canceled over less, Holcomb's bold move to air out what he claims is the real truth behind Shannon's image shook the entire industry. As expected, the public split right down the middle. Some folks are dragging Corey Holcomb, saying he crossed the line, throwing coded jabs at Shannon's actuality without dropping solid proof. But on the flip side, a whole crowd is side-eyeing the silence from Hollywood, the timing of that $50 million lawsuit, and Shannon's sudden exit from ESPN. And they're saying something's not adding up. One thing's for sure, though, the damage is done. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more chaotic, the internet did what it always does. It dug deep. Old clips started popping up all over the timeline. One clip in particular had Shannon talking a little too slick about OnlyFans models, sounding way too eager with the flirt talk. It didn't prove anything concrete, but it didn't have to. In a scandal this loud, context don't even matter anymore. That one clip just became more fuel for a fire that's already blazing out of control. Now every moment from Shannon's past is under a microscope. His outfits, his body language, who he's seen with, everything is being analyzed frame by frame like a documentary breakdown. And the wildest part? Shannon Sharpe built his brand on discipline, control, and high-class confidence. For years, he was that man, the one in the cleanest suits, spitting the smoothest takes, owning every set like a boss. He crafted that image carefully, power, precision, poise. That smooth, polished image Shannon Sharpe spent years building, it's cracking, fast, and it's not just one scandal shaking the table anymore. This is turning into a full-blown identity crisis that's threatening to bring his entire empire down brick by brick. With the lawsuit heating up, Hollywood staying quiet but lethal, and ESPN quietly lining up his potential replacement, Shannon's next move isn't just about optics. It's survival mode now. What started off as some messy drama with a stylist has exploded into something way more dangerous. A $50 million lawsuit, shady whispers, a mysterious tape, a media retreat. These ain't just headlines, they're warning shots. This isn't about cancel culture. This is about whether Shannon can hold on to everything he's built, from the league to late night to legacy. Right now, every decision counts, because if Shannon fumbles this, it won't just be his name trending, it could be his entire career going up in smoke. So what do you think? Is this the beginning of the end? Or does Shannon still have one last play left in him? Smash that like button if you've been locked in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was this all just smoke, or is something way deeper going on? Don't forget to share this video, hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next explosive update. Catch you in the next one.